tough game, tough loss. I think in the stands we were saying the scoreline didn't really reflect the play. How do you feel about the game in general?
Yeah, you're right. It's a tough game. I think often if you're down and you're having to chase the game, you end up with a scoreline that flatters the opposition because you leave yourself open at the back. And I think we did that for the third goal, especially. I think it was one of those ones where when they had opportunities, they took them, and when we had them, we didn't. Apart from the first 15 minutes, to be fair, they could have gone like 3 up in the first 15 minutes. But yeah, first 15 minutes we were a bit all over the place, and then once we settled, I thought we were really good today, and it's just a real shame that we couldn't convert that into goals. They were a well organised team, and they took advantage when there were moments when we let them through us. But it was a really gutsy performance, and I think it's very easy if you feel like you're down in the first 15 minutes to just drop your heads and the game's gone. But that didn't happen today. We clawed it back and we fought back, and it was a bit like the Bromley game, really, where we worked out what was going on and we fixed it, and then we just now need to work out how to turn up at the start of the game rather than 15 minutes in, and we might see some different results. But
yeah, good lesson to actually start the game when the game starts, not 15 minutes later. I do think there was a couple of moments where it could have turned in our favour. Like when we did come back into the game, if we'd got a goal then, I think it would have changed the momentum entirely. But unfortunately, we didn't take those chances, and they got a goal a bit against the play, and then it sucked the energy out of us, and you could feel it. And then, rightly so, we went for it, which left us exposed. So lessons learned for next week.
Yeah, very nice. So, well, maybe not so nice, a bit sad, but so they're a young team. They're obviously a very talented team. From your vantage point, playing for Clapton, maybe having played for a little bit longer than like the average player on the opposition.
What are you trying to say?
What are your thoughts about like women's football and how it's developed, how it could be better than the models that have come before? This is a leading question.
Yeah,
I will not
politicians answer.
Yeah, I think we played together today and we worked really hard and we worked it out, and we were playing against a young team that were really well drilled and quite had those messages quite loudly reinforced from the side, and that's not how we do things. And I'm glad that we do the things we do, and we have the agency to work out what's going on and not have someone on our back the whole game. So credit to Alice for how she coaches us, that she coaches us every week to learn the game so that we're the ones fixing the problems rather than feeling like we have to have someone shouting from the sideline. Yeah. Does that answer it?
Yeah. It's interesting that you mentioned shouting mean things. Like that wasn't on my mind at all. Never would have come up. But yeah, so obviously and the journey here took a while. It was pretty miserable. We were all a bit car sick by the time we got here.
Yeah, the effort for not only the players to get here, but because there was rail replacement buses, I believe, which Annie Lyons took the brunt of and felt quite queasy at kickoff, but also the fans. There are a few fans that joined us. It's a long way from home, so we hugely appreciate the support. Next week is obviously closer to home, so you don't have to travel as far. I believe the Elizabeth line will be running and all other TFL networks. So if you can get yourself down to the Old Spotted Dog next Sunday, which should be easier for you to get to, we'd absolutely love you there. And we will try and put on a better performance. We will show up for the first 15 minutes at least, we hope.
I won't be desperately car sick next week. That's my promise to everyone at Clapton.
Big dreams. See you next week.